Hello channel and welcome to Arkansas. We are in wow, seriously? Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm just freaking out because I was just messing with these chase plane settings to get them to be nice and smooth, and now it seems like they're so easily forgotten. I think we do this, we just click global, 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 global to assign them to global, I think. And then we should have smoother camera movements like this. That's what I want. But I guess I don't have that on every camera. Okay, whatever. I don't know how to use this product perfectly yet. So today's been kind of a tweaking day for me in Prepared. I've changed a lot of things. The more drastic thing is I've changed the refresh rate of my monitor to be 30 Hz to try and eliminate some stutters. And the second thing that I've done that I think is gonna prove to be beneficial is I've enabled a traffic sort of culling option from in FSUIPC. So I'm still using Ultimate Traffic 2 for traffic, but I'm having FSUIPC limit the traffic, and I've just upped all the traffic inside it, but it's now going to be maximum 40 planes in the sky at any one time, and I think that might do. It's so far that seems to really have sort of helped my traffic. We are in. It's been a month since I last flew this guy, and yeah, left brakes are worn. You might notice some pulling. The undercarriage is really wearing out. I'm extremely anxious to see it fail, as I've been through, as I've said a bunch of times before. Flown so many flights now, sort of waiting for this to fail, and kind of, I think I need to stop sort of waiting for it. That will happen when it happens. I've even started flying the plane in other types of situations. Yeah, and the flight that we're doing today is we're in Arkansas, and we are here in Vicksburg. Not Lake Village, not far from the Mississippi, and we are going to fly north towards Pine Bluff, past that towards Little Rock, Arkansas, and Saline County Regional, and Kilo Sierra Uniform Zulu, KSUZ. Yeah, I haven't really thought about how we're gonna get there, but maybe we'll do something like this. Maybe we can do VOR to VOR, just do straight VOR this flight, nothing. No GPS. I don't think we really need the GPS. It's very flat down here. I'm kind of excited about getting over to the other part of Arkansas towards the north, and we'll have the ozarks, so at least there'll be some mountains around. But it's kind of interesting when you look at the ozarks and you look at how there's nothing there. That's Bentonville. Yeah, and then maybe once we make it up there, we'll make our way east and sort of cross up over here. Once these tires fail, I'll switch to a faster bird, because this is kind of taking too long. I think we need a 2-engine something to get it all going. Anyways, we can. That was strange. I don't know what that pump sound was. Okay, anyways. We got fuel flow. We can turn on the beacon. And we can yell out the window to clear prop, and then we can simply start the aircraft. There's a lot of movement there. So this could also be chaseplane that I'm running here. If you go to the camera, then we go to turbulence, and we can see engines. It's a little, maybe they're a little too powerful. We'll run it down a little bit. But I do kind of want to feel like you're in a small plane when you're in this plane. Also adjusted up the wind. Okay. So, oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
TOS system test okay.
At least last time I checked. FSFX is now actually has a profile. Perfect. So now this will hopefully remember that I want to do this profile. And I'm running just been stupid Windows. I'm thinking about upgrading to Windows 10, but you know, whatever. Different story. We'll deal with that later. Let's get the weather, and then we'll think about the VORs. I like to just get the engine started and get it warming up.
Lima Hotel Airport information. Echo 1353 Zulu. Weather wind 150 at 7. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature -2. Dew point -7. Altimeter 3055. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Echo Kilo Golf Lima Hotel Airport information. Echo.
Okay, so a little southerly wind, and freezing temperatures. 104. 104. Okay, that's cool. So we have to remember to have our pitos on. What am I doing? Okay, let's get our little nav log up here. So for our first leg, we're gonna do turning to the Monticello, the VOR 116, 111.6, head course 301. One 1116, right? Is that what I said? Or is it? Yeah, 1116. That's about it, and we will be taking the southerly runway. So we can turn our taxi light on, we can turn our nav light on, pitot on. We can tune to the traffic and select runway for takeoff, which is going to be the runway 19, and we can announce our taxi. I don't know if it's as visible to you as it is to me, but it's pretty works really well, this frame rate shift. I think it seems to be very sort of few micro stutters. If you look at how the ground flies past us, it's not sort of jolting as much as it's used to do. So that's an interesting development. I'm curious to see how this holds up. Sad thing is it's 30 frames, 30 hertz for everything on my computer. So if I go to play a different game, which can easily maintain a higher frame rate, it's a real downgrade. pretty nice. I always forget how good like the FTX trees look in a sense, but then especially when when winter comes around, it's a real sort of reminder how good they look. And you look at these bare branches over here, they look real, man. Okay, so there's very little other traffic around, so I think we're gonna do the run up just here then. Both mags seem to be working fine. Yeah. Oh yeah, one more thing. We need to actually go in here and we need to change the CDI. I need to put up the V-lock so we can navigate by radio here. And then we are going to depart north. Text light, come on. Fuel pump, come on. Okay, off we go. So let's maintain the runway heading, or at least roughly, until we're past the field. Look at that. So fluid. This is really smooth. Looking great too. Okay. That's pretty good. Trim the aircraft for roughly 100 knots. I'm trying to anyway. And we'll take a right turn towards our heading. Nice one. We're at 1500 feet. I think I'm gonna aim for 2500 feet. See, the nice thing about chase planes, I do feel like it sort of just integrates in a lot better with track IR. This is actually me panning, and then I'm looking at the center of the screen, but the panning just sort of works so seamlessly with my track IR. feet. feet. Bring in the manifold pressure into the green, and then we can bring back the fuel flow a little bit too. Bring it back to like 75% mixture, and yeah, I was trying to aim for some sort of decent cruise, even though it is actually very windy here. So normally I'd hand fly this, but what I am trying to do today a little bit is tweak chase plane. So I want to see sort of like what. So what we are feeling here is the wind. Or is it? No, it's actually actual turbulence. It's very nice, the interface. Really good the way it works. So yeah, it's pretty nice. So this is actually, I think this is actually it's a little turbulence right here. I guess it doesn't really say. But at least I can't read that out of the meter. No, very impressed with my tweaks today. It takes a while to realize whether or not it's placebo or not, but so far this is looking mighty good. Like I'm seriously not getting any kind of stutters or micro stutters. You can see the smoothness of which the terrain moves past the plane. If you get micro stutters, that's when like the terrain just sort of like snaps past you. But as if what I'm doing now, it's there's none of that. It seems pretty good. Very happy with that. Yeah, lights can come off, and the fuel pump can come off. I'm doing that from the outside here. It certainly is a windy day, a little blustery. Not the most comfortable day for flying. Our little Kenny Powers limo up Arkansas. I guess this is my first time in Arkansas in the simulator. It is not the most central nor sort of, I don't know, obviously scenic place anyway. Looks kind of cute from the air, but very rural, lots of little woods. I guess these almost looks like sort of tree farms. Maybe that's what they are too. Maybe they are tree farms for Christmas trees or something. Yeah, no, it's... There seems to be some interesting weather going on. It certainly is not stable. It's just floating away. I completely forget to monitor our progress. Well, we're navigating by the VOR. So kind of what we need to do is figure out how far we are from that VOR, and to do that we use our little DME here. So we can now tell that we are 5.8 nautical miles from this VOR. It might be actually a good idea to just get the next one ready. Which is the Pine Bluff, which is 116. Sorry. 116. We just let that sit there, and then when we cross over it, when we reach 0 nautical miles here, we will put the other one in the box, and we will put a course in of 342, almost due north. We'll start heading up towards Pine Bluff, and then go towards the outskirts of Little Rock. I wonder if we'll see it. Home of the Clintons, or previous home of the Clintons, I guess. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the new president over here. And I'm sure Arkansas are very happy with how that turned out, but yeah, time will show if that will be a positive, if that was a smart choice. I don't know. I guess the supporters would think I'd be ridiculous for thinking it's not a smart choice, but time will show. I could be wrong. I'll keep an open mind if you do, but he's, yeah. Enough said. We'll see how we'll see what happens. So I'm a little bit unsure what's happening right now, but it's starting to correct. You see, it's starting to correct a lot, the autopilot. I think it's trying very hard to capture it. We're only like a mile away from the VOR. It should be right ahead of us somewhere here. At that point, I think it's just smart to just put in the next VOR. So we switch it up, and we can just immediately. It was 342, was it? I don't remember it exactly. And we'll engage nav mode again. And the plane shall intercept. T42, and we're doing a distance of 42 nautical miles. Man, we're going far today. So it's pretty rough air, so it's actually, we're supposed to stay here then in this in the green band, not how much into the yellow band. Let's see, what is our true airspeed though? We have our temperature -2 and we have an altitude of 2,000 feet. So pretty much line that up to 2005 for the 0. So not a whole lot. We are doing 145 knots, I guess. 143. Yeah, close enough. I like how that lines up. Yeah, Orbix did do a good job with this land class. I think it's it looks pretty dang good. Just turn on the lighting. I don't think there's anything else really messing with us down here anyway. Let's see what it does to my frame rate. I've been sort of testing it out a little bit, and terrain shadows certainly do eat frames. Even when it's flat like here, you notice they sort of vacillate a whole lot more. So we have to, problem is you have to turn them completely off to make it to improve, but it's just smoother. Yeah. I'm enabling the GPS. It's mostly because I'm a little bit bored. This landscape is a little bit boring to fly through. Man, we have a long way to go too. Yeah, there we go. Here's our flight plan loaded in. What's this terrain that I'm seeing below me? I think we are actually seeing some terrain again. Very little, but I do think we're actually seeing some semblance of hills. It's honestly a little scary that someplace can be this flat. So we're 32 miles away from this, and then there's another 30 miles up to KSUZ. See what we can make this plane do if we push her. All I can get more is here's like 3 knots. 6 knots more. That's what I get for that kind of extra punishment that I'm pushing the engine through. It's not something I do in real life. Forgot to close the cowl flaps. That might give us a couple more knots. Let's see if we can get us up to 150.
Southwest 350. Contact Memphis Center on 1353. 135.3 for Southwest 350.
See, actually, let's, one thing I haven't tried is the actual, this is the, what's it called? The chase plane sort of save cam. Yeah, it is. It will change cameras on its own to sort of create. It's a cinematic cam, is what it's called. Cinematic cam, cinematic mode. I bet you those passengers are really sick by now because this place has been moving all over the place. Yeah.
Southwest 1733. Traffic is 12 o'clock, 4 miles at flight level 385.
Let's try some other cameras here while we're at it, because since we're just waiting. Let's try, because I am kind of curious here. So we have these outside cameras. One thing that I'm not sure that I like is that they sort of go, it's like they're stuck on the thing. I'd like them to be a little bit more sort of, yeah, gimbaled. That's what we're talking about. So the plane moves in camera. Or what is absolute positioning? I think that's where the plane does not move in camera. That's nice, I like that gimbal look. Looks better probably from a distance, so the camera isn't constantly sort of bucking with the plane, but the plane can actually buck within the camera. It's a little bit sort of weird though that it's gimbaling. It is gimbaling off this this place, which is a bit strange. This seems odd. They're both gimbal and absolute. Yes, absolute is glued to the camera. Yeah, Horizon isn't really doing much for this. Yeah, here's the blast area from the prop comes in. Yeah, no, I don't know. I wanna like chaseplane more than I like it, but I do like it. Is that what we need to do? Track aircraft? Oh, that's lovely. That is what we need. Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. That is my kind of camera. Oh, that's really, really sweet. Let's create a preset for that, and we'll call it tracking. And we will actually tweak it a little bit too, and we will tweak it, give it some inertia and a little slower movement. So when I do this, yeah, it's got a nice smooth sort of end to it. Very, very nice. And how nice are the graphics here? Look at the OpenLC class. Really is a great product. The OpenLC class US is really is a good product. I am a big fan. I think it's very nicely done. It does a lot with very little in a sense. Like, look at this flat agricultural area. Not your sort of typical beauty shot in the simulator, but it's pretty beautiful, actually. See, that looks like an Orbex. That looks like an Orbex airport from here. But I guess it didn't show up in my map when I was looking for an Orbex airport to land at. Okay, let's 6 miles away now. Bring the manifold pressure back into the green. And I bet you we won't see it actually drop that much. quite high exhaust gas temperatures. Everything else is more or less in the green.
Delta 557, have Boeing 757 site.
So far we dropped 3 knots. It's not a whole lot.
Traffic is 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Then we are going on an outbound radial. We're going outbound on a course of 303.
Lord 510, have Boeing 757 site.
And we'll switch to heading at this point. And then we will line up the course needle with 303 as well. And I think you press the rev here to make it follow that, but
Traffic is 12 o'clock, 4 miles at flight level 346. Lombard 8, report them in sight. United 1907, Niner Heavy, traffic is 12 o'clock, 3
let's
miles
see
at level 346.
if it just sort of like goes, turns 360 here.
Descend and maintain to south 100, southwest 124, heading 235, proceed on course, climb and maintain.
Yeah, it's gonna turn 960, so we're just gonna set it to the good old nav.
Maintain 2100, 0. Memphis Center, Lombard 8, X-ray Alpha Tango Lima Kilo is at 11,300, climbing 17,000. Lombard 8, X-ray Alpha
So back course is actually the following the other side of the needle. The way the needle's pointing back, not pointing directly. I think you probably use it for flying patterns and procedures like that. I've never actually used the back course switch before.
traffic in sight.
So yeah, as you can see, guys, there are some sort of hills up ahead. I know, pretty exciting. I still can't see anything, but it's pretty much our first hills since we left Georgia, right? And at that point, that wasn't even really, since my very first video, I think was Mountain Air to is that a Mountain Air in South Carolina or North Carolina? That was a spectacular flight, and since then I guess we haven't seen any hills or mountains. I think it's safe to say that the southeastern United States is a flat place. See, I love this, that I can just sort of manipulate and move the chaseplane camera without me. I don't have to contort myself to the extent that I have before. Okay.
United 1907, Niner Heavy, traffic is 12 o'clock, 4 miles at level 346. Boeing 737, report them in sight. Southwest 124, traffic is 10 o'clock, 2 miles.
Yeah, I guess it was just trying to maneuver.
Boeing 757, report them in sight. Lombard 8, Tango Lima Kilo, climb and maintain level 290. Climb and maintain level 290, Lombard 8, Tango Lima Kilo.
I have no idea what this is. That is a weird thing. Is it the bridges? It's a beautiful camera. I guess it must be the bridges, right?
Contact Little Rock approach on 119.85. Going to 119.85.
8 miles. We need probably another 20 miles. I'm actually going to speed this up because I am tired and need to get up not too late. But then of course the autopilot will start messing around, searching. I think it's safe to just put this into heading mode because it's
Air Canada 993, turn right heading 235, resume all navigation, climb and maintain level 350. Turn right heading 235, stay on course, climb and maintain flight level 350. Air Canada 993.
It's funny, and now that we get close to the big metropolitan area, we are seeing our famous vertical obstructions. Look at this, 2,200 feet.
Right heading 235, stay on course, climb and maintain flight level 340.
That's crazy.
Turn right heading 235, resume all navigation, climb and maintain level 340.
See, these are normal tar obstacles, like 600 feet, 300 feet, but these ones, these are like monsters. That one's a monster.
345, Boeing 767, report them in sight. United 1907, Niner heavy, traffic alert, 5 o'clock, less than 1 mile, level 346. Boeing 767, report them in sight. United 1907, Niner heavy, traffic is 6 o'clock, 3 miles, at level 367. Bombardier Learjet, report them in sight. Bombardier 4, Delta Niner, traffic is 12 o'clock, 3 miles.
The air traffic thing seems to be working pretty smooth to me.
Report them in sight. United 1907, Niner heavy, contact Memphis 135.3.
Quite a bit of different types of engines and planes here. These are, I mean, I need to do this, but if I'm going to use Ultimate Traffic 2 for GA, which I haven't really done, I need to change these twin engine jets, which are kind of like the, I think they use the default Learjet, which is just very vast intensive for an AI model. So yeah, it turns out it is flat, even though I can see on the map that there are mountains close by-ish. It is too flat. Big antennas, 2 of them.
Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Pull up.
United 1907, Niner heavy, turn
The autopilot is really struggling at increased speed.
climb and maintain flight level 330. United
Look at it
1907,
to the hunt.
Niner heavy.
I think we're gonna just fly this in Amano. We're getting closer to, we're 19 miles away. Start by getting the weather.
Lima, India, Tango, airport information, India, 1453, Zulu, weather, wind, 149er, at 4, visibility, 10, sky condition, temperature, -3, dew point, -6, altimeter, 3051, advise on initial contact, you have information, India, Kilo, Lima, India, Tango, airport information, India, 1453, Zulu, weather, wind, 149er, at 4, visibility, 10, sky condition, temperature, -3, dew point, -6, altimeter, 3051, advise on initial contact, you have information, India, Kilo, Lima, India, Tango, airport information.
Okay, so the wind is still coming from the south. No surprise there if you look at the scenery and how little things there have been in the way to change the course of that wind. Is this Little Rock already up here? No, can't be. It's not. Little Rock is way out there. Up here is Little Rock, I guess. The back of that. This is probably the Green Pines or whatever it was called. I am apparently very close to an aircraft that is very high above me. Can't see it, so you know, can't be there.
Memphis Center, open air, train Alpha Delta Echo Hotel is at 8,700, climbing 9,300. Mark 8 at train Alpha Delta Echo Hotel, Memphis Center, Roger, altimeter 3053. Mark 8 Delta Echo Hotel, climb and maintain 16,000. Climb and maintain 16,000. Open air, Delta Echo Hotel. Mark 8 Delta Echo Hotel, contact Little Rock approach on 1354. 1354, open air, Delta Echo Hotel. Memphis Center, open air, train Alpha Delta Echo Hotel is climbing to 9,700 for 16.
It's more fun to fly the Dash 8 and stuff in conditions like this, because there's just so much more to think of. So much more to think of. But yeah, anyways, so what we're going to do, look guys, it's mountains. I can actually see mountains or hills. And wow, we have mesh terrain. This makes me unbelievably excited because this has really been a little boring lately. It's been a slog making it up the Mississippi, I have to say. Let's see if we can crack the landing too this time. Anyways, I'm gonna come in from the north here and try and squeak it down, which I think is gonna be difficult. I think it's gonna be really difficult. Because it's windy. And the plane is a little bit heavy. And we will see, maybe I'll have tire problems. One can always hope. One can always hope that these guys will break. Okay, I think it's time to start descending a little bit. Is that the airport down there with those that white? No, it's not the airport. It should be in that direction though, that general direction. I'm really excited to see those mountains over there with the little aerials, with the huge aerials coming out of them, everything. That's really nice to see. Let's see if we can't reach KSUZ, Saline County. And we will land runway 20 and we will announce a full stop landing.
November 995 Charlie Sierra is 6 miles northeast 2,300 inbound to land runway 20 Kilo Sierra Uniform Zulu.
Yeah, there it is. So what I did there with setting the arrows, I like to do that sometimes. I like to set the arrow to the CDI arrow to the direction of the runway, basically, when I'm coming into land, because then I'll know when to make the turn and how far to make the turn without necessarily having to see the airport, which I can at this point, but you know, sometimes you can't, and it's just kind of a good habit. I think we'll start slowing down even more. A little high, but not too bad. I think we'll be fine. Once we slow down, we can put out the flaps. So I'll try and approach at around 70, so 75 knots actually, because we're quite heavily loaded. I guess 100 knots. Get the notch flaps. And then when we add the flaps, you have to push the trim forwards, which I always seem to forget. If you don't, it just sort of ends up stalling. And then we have to add power as we go in for the second notch of flaps. It's a very nice place to live, Little Rock, it seems, compared to the lands around it, because it actually has some mountains, which I guess is why it's called Little Rock, right? Kind of makes sense. Okay, we are on final.
Kilo Sierra Uniform Zulu traffic. Cessna November 905 Charlie Sierra is on final runway 20 to land. Kilo Sierra Uniform Zulu.
Really wonder what that white blob is. I guess it's either a quarry or some sort of snow. It's nothing. We are too high, so I'm just letting the power go down, so we're trying to catch up a little bit. I'll add some power in a second to stop the sink, because we will catch the glide slope just about very soon. Guess we're a little fast, right?
500.
Third notch of flaps. Taxi light to show them we're coming down. Beautiful approach over these two little lakes. And that white thing, whatever that is. The white whale. Knots, which is a little scary. Need a little bit more speed than that to do the complete the flare. Here we go. Over the center line. Nice one. That was nice. I think it's actually helped to remove the curves from my joystick. I used to have these, you know, deflection curves on the joystick calibration, and I think they made it a little, like they make it very nice and easy to control, but then you reach this one point where it just sort of transfers from being sensitive to harsh, and I have to say I think this is, now I just made them completely linear. I think it's made a huge difference. It's a lot more predictable. I feel like I know what the joystick is going to do when I move it. I feel like you can a little bit more predictable what's gonna happen, so you end up getting these really sweet landings. What I'm still not comfortable with is the ground handling of this plane. I used to blame my pedals, but I think there's more to it than that. It's a little tough to handle on the ground. Okay, anyways, we made it. We made it almost to Little Rock. The weather is nice over here, even though it's cold. It is pretty nice. I want to thank you guys for joining along. You can leave a comment, leave a like. I know this video was a little long and non-eventful, but you know what? Sometimes it is, and I think in this Orbix, this OpenLC US Tour, that's kind of, I wouldn't say that that's what I wanted, but I don't care. It's it's such a long route that I have ahead of me, and yeah, there's gonna be some boring ones along the road. So but you know, this was one of them, I think, as will probably a few of the upcoming ones be too, going through this the flatter, more non-eventful parts of the country. Anyways, I will say they've done a good job of rendering something so flat. It looks good. It's not gonna replace the Pacific Northwest as my favorite place to fly, but it's nice to know that it's flyable and that it looks as good as it maybe it can. Well, anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. Our tires are still holding on. Let's see if there's a, I don't think there's a different kind of message, but it might be just fun to check. Nah, nothing new. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and there'll be more videos later. Bye bye.